Hi, welcome to Grace Health and Social Care Limited. My name is Dr. Ronnie Chikwama, and with me here is my colleague Bumi. And Bumi will tell you more about herself in a minute. But I just want to tell you about the services that we offer at Grace. Grace Health and Social Care is a specialist organization that specializes in supporting blind and partially sighted people on two fronts, really. The first one is for those that are looking for work and preparing to get into work, and they need some support to get into work. The second one is for those that are in work but that require some support. So it could be support in terms of having a support worker or in having an admin assistant or driver or any visual support. We were willing to sort of just talk to people and find out how we can help. We've helped many people retain their jobs as a result of the support that we offer. Natural fact, maybe, Bumi, before we carry on, I need to sort of air out my frustrations before we go. One of the things that frustrate me is to hear that somebody has had their vision deteriorating, yeah, or they've lost their vision as a result of an accident, or they expected it. But anyway, as they lose that vision, they then resign from work or they're pushed out by their employer. That is frustrating because companies like ourselves, we can chip in and we can support people by providing a support worker. We can support the individual do what they do best. And also, there are many organizations out there. I'm looking forward to having a discussion around support for people generally from other charities and other statutory organizations, and what sort of support there is so that people can retain their jobs. And saying that also, I'll be sort of interested in discussing, the kind of support that the government offers so that people can be in work. People with any disability, really, but obviously our interest today is in visual impairment. So that's what this is all about, and I'll get to ask Bumi, who is my guest today. Bumi, welcome.
Thank you for
tell us
having
your full name and what you do, please.
Yeah, my name is Adebunmi Olagbade, and I'm the team leader for the community service in London.
That is great, and you work for Grace Health and Social Care
Yep.
Services. That's good. Tell us a little bit about your condition, if you may. Anything that you can share on this platform.
Okay, so my condition is glaucoma, and it's actually hereditary, and it's in my family. And mine was discovered in 2008 when I newly came into the UK, and I had both of my eyes operated at the Moffat Eye Hospital. And in 2012, it was discovered that my right eye vision um, was is still 25%. So I have 25% vision left on the right eye and 68 on the left eye. So mine is quite advanced, and it started very early.
Right.
I was 36 years old when it started, when it was discovered.
Right.
And it was discovered late as well.
Right. Okay. So Bumi, how has loss of vision impacted on your independence?
Um, to be honest, I didn't allow it to impact me in a negative way.
Right.
I still managed to carry on doing what I enjoy doing. In 2012, I remember when my consultant actually told me, that I couldn't drive anymore, and that, I eventually lost my job. I had to, she had to like write to my employer, to either take me off work,
Right.
because I declined to get registered on the
Right.
CVI certificate. And yeah, Um, it was really difficult at that time,
Mm.
but the moment I had my CVI certification,
Right.
I was able to get every necessary help I could get from the social services,
Right. Okay.
which includes access to work.
Mm.
I had support services
Mm-hmm.
coming to help me at home.
Right.
I had um, adaptive equipment,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, work assessment, and yeah, and it actually made my life a bit more easy
Right. Okay.
than I thought. Um, yeah,
All right. So you sound like at the point of diagnosis and knowing that it's a condition that could not be reversed at the time,
yeah,
advanced, that's the word you used,
yeah,
um, you were not defeated.
at all.
And you sound like a very independent lady.
Yes, at not 100%, I would say,
Yeah, but
but to some level, yeah,
confident.
very confident. Yeah,
Right, okay. Your consultant wanted to write to your employer,
yeah,
or probably did write to the employer.
almost did.
Almost did.
Yeah.
Right, okay. How did that feel to you?
Oh my God, I felt, um, yeah, I felt anxious, and I developed some kind of anxiety at the time.
Mm, 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 mm,
At the
mm.
time, I was working with mental health services, and I actually enjoy what I do.
Right, okay.
Yeah, prior to that, I've worked in various settings, work
Yeah.
with ex-offenders, children in care. I used to enjoy, I still enjoy the interaction with
Yes.
people, engaging with people. So when my consultant, she actually advised me to register, and I declined.
Right.
Um, Due to the fact that I didn't have knowledge, of what
The
the
benefits of
the
registering.
benefit of
Yeah.
registering,
Yeah.
and I was more focused on the shame and stigmatization
Mm.
of disabled people.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
especially in the minority, black and minority community.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so she had to educate me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
through and she was really leaning with me. And
Mm.
so the thought of losing my job at the time was like, oh, this is all I know how to do. I can't
Yeah.
imagine myself losing my job, then having to stay at home. So
Mm.
immediately I gave it a second thought, and I agreed to register as a disabled person.
Right.
And yeah, and it really benefited me, to be honest. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I understand. By CVI, you mean the certificate of visual impairment,
Payment, yeah.
which registers somebody as sight impaired or somebody as severely sight impaired,
Yeah.
which is the old categorization of blind and partially
Partially
sighted.
sighted, yeah.
Right, and the benefits in being registered. Obviously, having been registered, then it triggered some support
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Um, Bobby, what triggered this interview today is the article that you wrote, which is about to go to publication, where you talk about your journey in employment as a visually impaired person. And also, you kind of highlight the support that you got all the way.
Yeah.
And I know you emphasize on the fact that, you know, um, it's impossible to do these things with help.
Yes.
And there are very good organizations out there that help and support people. What has been your experience in relation to either just being in work or finding work and your experience in work itself?
Finding work sometimes could be very daunting
Mm,
in the sense that um, I've had few rejections.
right.
Yeah, normally in the form when you're applying for a job, there will be a section that expect you to disclose your
Yeah.
disability,
Yeah.
which of course I do.
Yeah.
And by the time I get to the if I'm when I'm invited to an interview, by the time I get to the interview, and the interviewer will be like, "Oh, we didn't know you have
Right.
a disability. You know,
Right.
how far can you see and all that?" And I'm like, "Oh,
Mm.
this is already in my form. I've disclosed
Mm.
this."
Mm.
And so I've had few rejections like that.
Right.
And in other places that I succeeded, I think the employer should do more in supporting people
Right.
who have not only sight impairments,
Mm.
other disabilities as well.
Right.
Apart from Grace Health and Social Care, where I mean the organization,
Right.
because we work with people who are visually impaired.
Okay.
So is our specialization. This is where we specialize in,
Right.
and for that reason, it's you guys make it very easy for me
Right.
in terms of accommodating me. Because you have the knowledge and understanding how to support me
I'm pleased to hear that.
compared to other places that I've worked.
Yeah.
Most organization leave that burden for me
Mm.
to, um, I mean, to tell my colleague
Right.
to
Okay.
disclose my disability to my, they expect me to disclose my disability
Mm.
to my colleagues. And I do understand that possibly because of confidentiality,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
don't think that is right.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think that is right because from my years of experience,
Mm-hmm.
the moment a new staff comes in,
Right.
I had to like start explaining myself. Oh, you
Yeah.
have to keep
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
clear because,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it should be the responsibility of the employer to do that, not to leave it for the individual to start telling people.
You know, I couldn't agree more with you.
Mm,
One thing that we do here at Grace is that we believe we're a learning organization. So we want to learn.
yeah,
And we believe somebody with a condition is the one that's there to educate us.
yeah,
But once we've learned about your condition, we want to support our staff
yeah,
to know and understand what you're going through and how best to support
both,
you.
yeah,
I think that is key and that is crucial.
yeah,
Um, One thing that we also do is we go around offering support and training to companies,
yeah,
especially those that are recruiting or that recruit somebody that's got a visual impairment, or those that serve people that have got a visual impairment. We raise awareness,
yeah.
by way of training. So that's one service that we are proud to offer here at Grace Health and Social Care. Um, on your way, on your journey,
Yeah.
you mentioned in the article that you've had some organizations that have supported you.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of them, they're very public. We should be safe to mention them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who has supported you and how have they supported you?
So Moffitt, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
referred me to the social services
Okay.
through the ECLO team,
Echo team, right?
yeah, the
Okay.
liaison officer at the hospital.
Right.
So Moffitt I mean, referred me to ECLO team. Then ECLO team did the rest of the job,
Right. Okay.
and ECLO team referred me to RNIB,
RNB.
North Middlesex Association,
Right.
the council, that's my local authority,
Okay.
yeah, in London,
Mm-hmm.
and I think access to work as well, because
Right.
yeah, because for workplace assessment
Mm-hmm.
and workplace support as well. So access to work carried out a workplace assessment for me,
Mm-hmm.
and just that is to understand because each individual have different needs. So to have the
Yes.
understanding of what I need, in what way they can support me at work.
Yeah.
They provided me with specialist equipments
Mm-hmm.
and taxi that takes me to work and back.
Mm.
Um, yeah, various. Yeah, that's.
That is
Like,
amazing. So, you in work at the moment,
yeah,
and you've got a PA,
yeah,
access to work, which is a government department for the DWP,
yeah,
funds that PA which you have,
yeah,
who supports you in your everyday work.
yeah,
And at the minute, at the time of this interview, you're in Manchester, you're in London, of course.
yeah,
You've traveled with the PA.
yes,
You're gonna be here for a couple of days together,
yeah,
and within the office, they're working with you. That is fantastic.
yeah.
What can you say to somebody who is considering getting a PA, or would you know that there's this kind of support from access to work?
Um, yeah, that is one thing that I've discovered, and lack of information
Mm,
to people who have some form of disability, not only
right,
visual impairment. A lot of people don't know, these services, there are support out there.
right,
And I think we also need to do more in terms of educating people, which is what because since I started this role,
mm-hmm,
I've had series of phone calls, people wanting to know
mm,
more
mm,
about the support services out there. I think a lot of people don't have that information.
right, okay,
And I think as an organization, we should be able to collaborate with other organizations to see how
yes,
best
yeah,
we can, spread the news out there.
mm, mm,
From the article I wrote,
yeah,
you can see that not in the visual impairment, we have the statistics shows that we have about 2 million
right,
people who are visually impaired in the UK,
okay,
and only 340,000 are
mm,
registered.
right,
So what
right,
happened to the rest of the one
that's
point
right,
something million?
good
Yeah,
question,
so it might be lack of information,
yeah,
and it might be, some, like for me it was the fact that, like I said, I had an anxiety
yeah,
of the fear of the unknown,
that's right, yeah,
like
yeah,
then the stigmatization
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think it would be best for not only Grace, like other organization as
yeah,
well, to see how best we can educate other people,
right,
you
okay,
know, informing them about the benefits. The benefit
mm,
for me, since 2012, I've been registered.
yeah,
I've remained in work. If not for the support,
fantastic,
if not for the support I was receiving, I wouldn't be able to
right,
cope. Yeah, so
mm.
those are some of the things that we need
I'm
to.
pleased to hear that,
Yeah.
Bonnie. That is excellent. That's why I described you as confident. um, and then my final question to you is something that you touched on. You said as a black person. I don't know why you felt in need to mention that, but I think you may have a message to
Yeah,
people from ethnic minorities,
yeah,
kind of backgrounds regarding the stigma attached with registration. I've done a lot of work around that in the past, and is it lack of awareness? Is it fear of the unknown? Is it fear of stigmatization? Is it discrimination? What is it? What's a message to somebody that's contemplating registration and maybe even going back into employment?
I think is everything combined together. The
Right.
fear of the unknown, the stigmatization, lack of lack of information,
Hmm.
is everything together.
Right.
And the reason why I said that is because initially for me, I didn't have the, somebody can just tell you, oh, go and register as a disabled,
Right.
go and register your disability. What are the benefits? You're not giving me
That's right.
you're not
That's
telling
right.
me.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And also, if we look at the minority,
Yeah.
from my own experience,
Hmm.
I remember after I got registered, I had to move from the area that I used to live.
Right.
Yes, I had to move to a more reserved area.
Right.
Because
okay.
I didn't want to be seen. I stopped going to church at some point.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to
Right.
be seen with a white cane and
Mm.
all that. And I don't think it's only with the black community. I think it happens in other minority,
Okay.
yeah, community as well. Because
Right.
I've
Okay.
had series of people. I've spoken to series of people from other minority group as well,
Yeah.
who have also disclosed to me their own experience in their own
Right.
community as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
And also apart from that, I'm in a series of group
Right.
like Metro Blind. I
Okay.
go for VIP clubs
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and tennis club
Yeah.
for people who are visually
Yeah.
impaired.
Yeah.
So I mean, series of activities, and you hardly see black people.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
okay. And if you from the record, I think glaucoma, is more in. I'm not sure if that is,
Right.
but like I've seen more people in the minority
Right.
group who are visually impaired,
Yeah.
but they don't like to come out.
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah. There are other conditions, including glaucoma,
Glaucoma,
that are
yeah,
more prevalent
yeah, yeah,
in those communities. So yeah, thanks, Tony, for highlighting that. The message there really is come out,
yeah,
take courage,
yeah,
be registered.
yeah,
There's help out there.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
message
yeah,
to everybody, really.
yeah,
And also to the organizations. You talked about lack of information given to people from these minority backgrounds.
yeah,
So it's really finding ways of reaching out people, certainly from the marginalized communities. That's what I've personally discovered. Well, not personally, the health inequalities have been sort of opened up really by COVID.
mm-hmm.
That people from poor backgrounds and certainly from minority ethnic groups have been impacted more by COVID.
Yeah,
And in actual fact, the report also highlights that not only COVID kind of exposes that, but other health
health
conditions as
conditions,
well.
yeah,
And generally, people from poor backgrounds, they lack information.
mm,
So I'm sure there's a lot to be done
yeah,
to improve that. And, it's just so inspiring to have you here, Bumi.
thank
And thank
you.
you so much for your time. I know you're working in London as Grace Older Social Care's community support team leader, where you reach out into the community and help support blind and partially people live their lives more independently or as independent as they want. You're doing a very kind of fulfilling job
Thank you.
and very rewarding job in my view. And you look happy
Yes, I am.
and I'm sure people also feel the benefits of the service. And from Grace's point of view, that service will be rolled out across the nation. It is just in London at the minute as of July 2024, but certainly we're looking at rolling it out once we know we've seen the success of the service in London. So yeah, I'm Dr. Ronnie Chikwama, and thank you all. Those people that want to get in touch with us by phone, it is 077, sorry, 0744 644 9447. So if you like your fours, you won't forget our number, okay? And our website is www.graceltd.co.uk. You can have more information there. And those that want to get in touch by email, it's admin at grace.ltd.co.uk. We're also on social media, pretty much on all platforms. Just search for Grace Health and Social Care, and then you'll be able to find us. Women,
Yeah,
thank you so much,
thank you for having me.
and I hope everything goes well for you in a role,
Thank you.
and all the very best.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming
Thank
today.
you so much.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye. Hi, my name is Bobby.
Hi, I'm Ronnie.